Welcome to episode 3 of Accessing the Akashic Records, the Law of One throughout history. Now, what a lot of people don't seem to understand is the Law of One is actually evident throughout all of history. It's not just confined to the raw material. Yes, the raw material is the most concise and comprehensive body of work that teaches this philosophical spiritual teaching of the Law of One. So what I've done here is just take a glance at history and show where this philosophical teaching of the Law of One appears. So come on, let's access the Akashic Records. Alright, as I already mentioned, the Sons of the Law of One began in Atlantis 45 to 10,500 years ago. Egypt did adopt the Law of One when there was contact from the Confederation or members of the Confederation. Then Egypt obviously went to more polytheistic belief structure. Then the Book of Genesis, 1550 to 1200 BC, there's the Law of One evident throughout that. Then in Egypt, Akhenaten brought back in the Law of One, the more matriarchal rather than patriarchal belief structures, and unfortunately that didn't last very long. He was killed off, and the polytheistic religions then took over again, and those whole controlling structures and governmental type of structures that we see evident today, much more secrecy and so on. The Kabbalah, 1300, 500 BCE, the Law of One is evident throughout that. Hindu religion, 1100 BCE, again, Law of One is throughout that, evident throughout the Mayan religion as well, 500 BCE, Buddhist also, one infinite indescribable God, that emanates throughout everything, 450 BCE, then the Tao Te Ching, speaks of oneness and the holographic illusion of reality, 400 BCE. Then 100 AD, or Common Era, Hermeticism is quite in line with the Law of One, with the oneness of everything and the holographic nature or illusory nature of reality. Then we got the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Essenes, 150 to 700 Common Era. We've got Gnosticism, 400 Common Era. Edgar Casey in 1877 to 45, that's when he was alive, and he was doing a lot of channeling or readings, as they were called, as he called them, where he was accessing the Akashic Records and other fields where he was reading information pertaining to the Law of One. We've got UFO religions like Urantia, 1924 to 55, that was occurring, channeling, that's channeling and it's very much in line with the Law of One material. If you read the Ra material and Urantia, it's very, very similar. And that's classed as a UFO religion. Now, in the 50s there was a lot of abductees, in particular George Hunt Williamson, George Van Tassel and George Adamski, and the book The Space Story and The Inner Light, where it's very much in line with the Law of One. Another UFO religion is the Atheist Society. Unarius, another UFO religion. The channeled material by Jane Roberts called the Seth Material, 1964, very much in line with the Law of One. A Course of Miracles, again, that's channeled material, 1976. 77, we got a UFO religion called Ashtar. 81, of course, the Ra material. We also need to note Latwi, Hutton and Kuo. They're very good members of the Confederation who speak on the Law of One, and they're conducted by LL Research, so definitely check them out if you haven't already and you're into the Law of One. We've got 1991 contactee Alex Collier. He's apparently in contact with the Andromedans, and the material that he comes out with is very much in line with the Law of One. Same with the Cassiopeia channelings from 94. Now, this one's probably a bit more controversial. We've got a contactee named Corey Good, who is speaking on very in line with the Law of One, and says that he's in contact with beings who say they are of the Confederation and of the same soul group as Ra. So there's just a brief overlook. I know I've missed out on quite a lot of other sources, but this is just a few to show you the great extent to which the Law of One philosophy has been a big part of who we are and what we are. And I just want to demonstrate the philosophical teaching of the Law of One is not just confined to the Ra material. And what's also important to note is the opposite negative or left-hand path must exist for us to have true free will choice, which leads us into the next episode, the episode after the next, which is the philosophical teachings of the Law of One. So do we really need religion? Do we really need science? Do we really need philosophy? Why can't they all just work together in a holistic symbiosis without any dogma? I could give you my point of view, but I won't. I want you to think about that. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, subscribe and comment if you like the video, and see you next time on Accessing the Akashic Records. Love and light.